Hello, my name's Eddie, and this is Module 10, Part 2. I'm going to be talking about waves and speed of light. So, the first video was kind of like a general introduction with all the variables, units, and formulas you might see. And I just want to reiterate the speed of light formula just because we're going to do an example problem in this video. But C equals wavelength times frequency, which gives us the speed of light. So the speed of light will equal to 3.00 times 10 to the 8th meters per second if, and this is big, if represented in a vacuum. So if it tells you that it's in a vacuum, then you could, use that number. But if not, we can't, just assume that this is the, the go-to number every single time. So just, I wanted to reiterate that before we get started. So an example problem here is a wave with a wavelength of 902 picometers has a frequency of 5.81 times 10 to the 7 hertz. What is the speed of the wave? So when you assess problems, you want to, write down what you know. So they give us a wavelength of 902 picometers. So wavelength, it's going to be lambda, right? This slide looking thing. So we know that it's 902 picometers. Then it has a frequency of 5.81 times 10 to the 7 hertz. Hertz is nu. Nu is frequency. So we know that our frequency value is 5.81 times 10 to the 7 hertz. So let me just write it just for explanation purposes. What is the speed of the wave? So we could, go ahead and use the speed of light formula, which is C equals wavelength times frequency, and we have our values. So you may see that over here the speed of light is in meters per second. So there's two ways to approach this problem. You could just plug in your numbers like you have already. So 902 picometers times 5.81 times 10 to the 7th hertz. Get your value and work from there. Or you could, convert picometers to meters, and then multiply that value by your frequency. So in this explanation, I'm just gonna plug in. We'll go from there. So picometers is 902. Well, I mean wavelength is 902 picometers. Frequency is 5.81 times 10 to the 7 hertz. So let's multiply that, and we should get a value of 5.24 times 10 to the 10th picometers per second, but we want it in meters per second. So what we need to do is we need to convert. So that we're in picometers and we want, meters. So let's just do some dimensional analysis. So 1 picometer will have 1 times 10 to the negative 12 meter. And this is something very common with these problems. They'll probably give you picometers, nanometers, and you just need to convert to meters. So you'll have to, kind of adjust to this. But when we do this, we should get our meters, and we should end up with the answer of 5.24 times 10 to the negative second meters per second. So remember, you could convert your picometers to meters right away, or you could, multiply, get your value, and convert to meters, whichever method you guys prefer. So in this problem, see the speed of light is equal to 5.24 times 10 negative 2 meters per second. Okay, so that's it for this video, and I hope this helped.